Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? Since today is April Fool's Day, I decided to tell you all a story about April Fool's Day and how I am literally the worst at it. Now, you're probably all thinking that's a bit ridiculous. How can someone be so bad at a day of just pulling practical jokes? Well, I'll tell you how, because I am literally the worst at it. Now, when I was a kid, back in middle school, high school, elementary school, whatever period of time you want to bring back to my childhood, I was the worst at April Fool's Day. Now, I understood the concept, but I never really executed something well. I was the kid who would tell you, hey, look, Gullible's on the ceiling, and when they looked or didn't look, I'd be like, ha, April Fools. And now looking back at that as I say this at the very moment, I realize how much of a loser I was. But anyways, on a real note, I just never really pulled off good April Fool's Day jokes. And I tried my best, and I always thought I was funnier than I was. But I wasn't, and I was not funny, and I did not pull good jokes. So I really wanted to pull a good April Fool's Day joke on the April Fools after my 18th birthday, which means I have a driver's license. Now, it's obviously the first year that I was driving, and my dad wasn't very happy with just me having a license in general. Obviously, no parent wants to see their kid driving and in potential danger. So he was very nervous when I was driving and I would drive. So I wanted to pull a good little April Fool's Day joke on him, and this isn't very good, and I hate when people do April Fool's Day jokes like this, but I had to do one just to make myself feel better because I've sucked every other previous April Fool's Day. So I decided to do this crude kind of sense of humor kind of joke on my father, and I don't regret it, but I would never suggest anyone to do this to their parents, to their friends, because it does make them nervous. But what I did was I drove to my friend's house and I called my dad pretending that I got into an accident. Now, once again, never joke around about this because it is really serious, and if you do get into an accident, it's nothing to joke about, and it really does make your parents worry. But I did it anyways because I was young and stupid and really wanted to pull off a really good April Fool's Day joke. But anyways, I told my friend that he was the person that I got into an accident with, and that he should just yell on the phone and say, oh, I'm gonna sue you, your son's a jerk, I need your insurance number, he was being very rude, he called me names, what are you gonna do, I'm gonna sue you, blah 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 blah, so on and so on and so on. So we had the whole plan down, and I called my dad and I was like, hey dad, I don't know how to say this, I don't know what to do, I'm sorry dad, and he was just like, what happened, and I was like, I got into an accident, I was driving down, whatever, and I just got into an accident, and I don't know what to do, and he was like, really, what happened, are you okay, is everything okay, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm okay, but the car's really messed up, and the other person's car's really messed up, and I really screwed up, I'm sorry, dad, I'm sorry, and he was just like, oh my god, what's the other person doing, he was just frantic, and he was panicking, and he was just really, frantic, so I was like, dad, I don't know, the other guy wants to talk to you here, and I just gave it to my friend, and my friend came on the phone and started yelling, oh, your son's a jerk, I'm gonna sue you, he's calling me names, he hit my car, he's about to cry, what a pussy, and he was just going off, and honestly, it was so funny, I was just in the other room crying of laughter, and my dad's probably flipping out and probably so frantic. My friend said that he was really worried and was just trying to calm the guy down, which was him, but he was just trying to calm the guy down and just say, calm down, relax, we'll get you, the insurance card, no problem, don't worry, just relax, I'm sorry for my son, blah blah blah. So after about 5 minutes of him ranting and raging, my friend gave me the phone back and I was like, hey dad, you there? And he goes, yeah Lee, what's up, what's going on? And I was like, April Fool's, dad. And he goes, no way you just did that. And he hangs up the phone. So I text him, I go, I'm sorry dad, I had to do it, I love you, I'm okay, don't worry about anything. And he goes, ha ha ha, that was a really good one, but never do that again, you scared the hell out of me. So overall, I did pull off a really good April Fool's Day joke, but it was at the expense of my father's worriness for me, so I kind of exploited a little bit of nervousness in my dad, but it was still funny overall, and I finally was not a failure on one April Fool's Day, although others would argue and say that I am a failure for pulling that kind of trick on my dad, but it's all good now, I was okay, and thankfully I did not get into a real accident, but I just wanted to pull that kind of joke. But literally every other April Fool's Day, I've sucked, and I've pulled terrible jokes, and I just am not good at these tiny little practical jokes. I'm good at being funny, I guess. I don't know. I don't really consider myself funny, but my friends tell me I'm funny, and when I'm around them, it's a good time, and a lot of laughs go around. But I don't consider myself as like a comedian or a funny person, and I'm definitely not good at April Fool's Day. I was actually going to tweet on my Jagex Lee Twitter account saying, well, it was a good time working with Jagex just to give an April Fool's Day out to everyone, but I felt like that was going to cause too much of a panic and just too much worriness overall, and I didn't want to start any problems or get yelled at by anybody, so I did not do that. But I thought about it, and I thought that would have been pretty funny. But I am still working with Jagex. That was just a joke. Don't worry, everyone. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this story. Comment below if you have any crazy April Fool's Day stories or April Fool's Day pranks that you did or someone pulled on you. I personally hate April Fool's Day because I don't like when people pull jokes on me, and I'm kind of gullible, so I fall for a lot of it, and I just don't like it overall. But I would love to read your stories, and I would love to find out some good April Fool's Day jokes that I could do if you've done them and I can repeat them. So let me know in the comments below, and I hope you all enjoyed. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Later, everyone.